Hello and welcome to the Play vs. Fall 2021 season finals. We've had a long season and now it is time for the LHSAA finals between the DTH Griffins and the GLHS Hornets. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Skids. And Skids, we've seen some pretty cool state finals so far. In fact, today we saw an absolute dominant performance in a 4-0 sweep. It's a best of 7 series between the Hornets and the Griffins. So what are some of the things that we're going to be looking forward to as we look at how these teams got there?
Yeah, both of these teams have had convincing runs coming in through the finals. The 1 seed and 2 seed, that's going to be DTHS as the 1 and GLHS as the 2 seed here. They've made it through a couple rounds each with 16 teams in the bracket. It was a gauntlet all the way through. So like you said, we have seen some 4-0s. We've seen some 4-3s, one of which even went into overtime for the 7th match. So I expect this one to be more like the latter and go the distance, because looking at both of these teams, they got some real quality players, and it's just going to be a matter of which one individual can step up, but you also got to play as a team. So you got to find that balance there.
Yeah, I think the balance comes from just the communication, and that best of 7 gives you that first game to really feel it out. A lot of these players probably already have warmed up, giving themselves a chance to kind of feel it as they're already in the lobby, ready to go. Here we go. Game 1 of this LHSAA Rocket League Finals here underway.
And we do have the DTHS Griffins over on the orange side, and then GLHS Hornets are going to be your white/gray. Loading up into this one. I'm really looking forward to see how they can capitalize on the attack. Both teams, that is, attacking but not overextending. We've seen a lot out of these state championships where sometimes you'll get a little bit overextended. Your discipline may drop, and that can lead to a quick counterattack snipe goal. So hopefully we could see a little bit of strong attacking with a mix of good mid to defensive play.
I'm a fan of this name right there. You see Arctic Biscuits and Knox for the Hornets moving it along that corner, trying to get it cleared out and thwart this attack from the Griffins as the Griffins continue to keep it in the attacking zone. You see Just One Drew kind of work his way around. I like that movement. That's a nice little centered pass. Can it get followed up? Here's a floater followed by Arrow, and he's going to follow it all the way in past the defense, and that is your first goal on the board for the Griffins. They take a 1-0 lead.
King had a beautiful touch there, and then his great way to take it up. Unfortunately for the Hornets there, they were not able to connect on the defensive stop. We need to see some good goalkeeping in that box there. But King just had a beautiful touch, way to float it on in there, and now GLHS is looking to answer back.
Yeah, Emerson had some nice patience there on the defense to get it back cleared out, but you see Knox and company coming up quickly. He picks up that full boost from the opposition, and that, you know, stifles the not only the defensive stop, being able to get aerial and make those defensive stops, but it keeps them from being able to get that fast break and use a lot of boost. Arrow, though, on the other side, picks up some boost and comes all the way across the field. You see Just One Drew. He picks up that boost. And I got to love the lobster on the top, the crab or the lobster on top of the car. Absolutely one of the best things about Rocket League is the customization that you can do. It just gives you a little bit more personality and flair going out there in this heavy competition.
Yeah, we saw a Santa hat earlier in the day, and this nice little crab rib on top of the DTH cars. But we do have a nice little stop there from Knox. We saw a good attacking push here from the Hornets, and now it's getting counter pushed back their way. The DTHS Griffins are back on the attacking side. Looking good on the shot front so far. It hasn't really been too imbalanced. King, we saw some great aerial control. Now can he get it off the backboard here? Plays it up, and Dizzy on the save with the follow through. Cannot get it, and the Hornets for GLH are going to get out of that one. That was a very scary situation there.
Yeah, I mean, there was multiple shots on the fly. Really, I thought one was going to go in. You see Dizzy come through and disrupt that one from Emerson. And just a great job on the rotations to get it cleared out. We're at 2:05 remaining in this game number one. Again, it is a best of 7. the Griffins do have a 1-goal lead as Emerson coming all the way over the midfield line. I like Just One Drew. He's really controlling that midfield half. And when you're able to do that, I think it really opens up some of those attacking options, whether it's a longer pass into a shot or maybe it's a center that leads to a second shot and maybe even that third shot. Because sometimes it's not about just getting one shot on goal. It's about taking out the defense, getting one shot. They commit to that. It opens up for a rebound shot. And even sometimes that third shot, as there's a shot, it goes just wide. Arrows there going up for it. That's going to be just wide and off the corner. And now it's going the other way.
King's been flying around the course this entire time. And there we go. Dizzy with the answer. Talked about some great passing that we need to see. And out of the corner, this is just a real common play to bounce it off of the back. And Dizzy, great positioning there on the redirect, using the side of the car to chip that one in. They didn't even need the second or third chance goals. But going back to what you were talking about with the rebounds, those are going to be super important. We saw it in one of the Hornets' first push where they got 3 to 4 shots on goal. Unfortunately, none of them connected, but those are going to be the ones that are going to fall in the net eventually. So if you can keep the good positioning there, Hornets can try and get a good rebound one to take a 1-goal lead with just about a minute left, if possible.
Yeah, you see them continuing their attack here. I like how Dizzy attacked that as well, not allowing it to float down, but instead he went up for it. He had the boost for it, so he went for it. Knox now in the corner, trying to get it cleared out. Only 21 boosts left as he's met by a rushing Just One Drew. And now Just One Drew, is he in a position to maybe take out one of the goaltenders, as that's right in front of the goal, and Emerson follows through nicely on that one. You see Dizzy goes after it, but Arrow just a beautiful center, and Emerson up and over the defense into the back of the goal. And now the Griffins with a 1-goal lead yet again with 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, very smart play there by King. Was able to recognize that you don't need to carry it and dribble it all the way from the corner. He bounced it off the really great angle, and then the communication there from Emerson, recognizing he is in the middle, just chipping it right through. That's a good reason that the Griffins are in this position as the 1 seed, looking really strong so far. But GLHS, the Hornets, trying to get a little bit of a counter play here. Just about 9 seconds left. Griffins hoping that they can ice it, and the Hornets now have one last chance here, but the ball's going to stay on the ground. They will not get that last chance, and the Griffins take game number 1 by a score of 2-1.
Yeah, a close battle for the most part, but it did feel like the Griffins had a little bit better of an attack, especially on capitalizing on some of the shots that they took. That was a beautiful shot by Dizzy, and I think that if they're able to get Dizzy moving a little bit more in that attacking zone, it'll open up for the Hornets to be able to kind of break free from that defensive mindset that they've had to be in because of the aggression of the Griffins. I mean, when I'm looking at shots on goal as well, the Griffins just continually, like you said, we saw that one point where there was 2, 3, 4 shots on goal right after another. And it's hard to rotate back through continually, having to play defense and think about, hey, if we can get this cleared, maybe we can clear out one quadrant. We can open up a pass or open up a shot on goal when you're constantly on the defense. So now going into game 2, I think the Hornets are definitely going to have to pick up their aggression, maybe make it a little bit more physical along the boards, and see if we can see a couple demos.
Yeah, one thing that I really liked there from the Griffins was the utilization of the walls and the ceiling. Great way to bring the 3D atmosphere of what makes Rocket League so great and bring that out to your advantage. We saw passes off the back wall. We saw you don't have to let it ricochet off the wall. You can bounce it off your vehicle. And then that's how we got the beautiful little second goal there from the Griffins. So great strategies there, utilizing the passes, not just playing the ball, but playing the angles as well, because you don't have to be the one to score the goal as long as your team puts it through. That's what really matters here, trying to pull out the victory. So the Griffins taking a 1-0 lead in the series, and the Hornets are going to try and answer here as we are loading up into game number 2.
See, already a couple seconds off the board, you see the Hornets kind of amping up their aggression, as Just One Drew now taking it the opposite way, but the defense holds strong. 15 seconds already gone by. That's a little floater shot. They've got to get that cleared out, and they do. Knox is able to kind of chip it through, and I think he did end up picking up that full boost, which could have gone to the other side if it was just a few inches to the left. But now you see the Hornets trying to find a way to set something up. You see how spread out they are right now. You can kind of tell that they want to get some passes as Emerson with some fancy footwork. Now a shot from Just One Drew. He's going to follow it up and parry it home. I mean, that was just an amazing play. I thought the defense was going to come up at it. Dizzy was right there. Look at this. I thought Dizzy was going to keep going, but didn't utilize his boost or didn't have the boost to get up a little bit higher. And now the Griffins already with a 1-goal lead, 4:17 remaining. I mean, that's where the momentum of this game will really get in the heads of the players, right? Once one goal starts dropping, more and more seem to follow because you just start feeling it as you get more shots on goal.
That goal looked eerily similar to the first one that we saw in game number 1. Just a little bit of a miscalculation there from the Hornets on the defensive side. You had 2 players flying in to try and stop there, and Knox coming up huge, saving a second goal there for GLHS. And now Just One Drew's going to try and counter it, but instead centers it, and great save there. Almost just put up for a nice assist there for the Hornets. But if you are on the defensive side for the Hornets, like with Dizzy and Knox, you guys are hoping to get a little bit better calculations here on the stops here.
You see them just continually fighting for that midfield. 3:20 remaining already in this game. I like the way that they kind of haven't overcommit either. You see both of these teams kind of just playing it safe. It's a best of 7, so you don't necessarily have to be too aggressive or too passive in this game. I mean, the Hornets know that they're down 1 goal, but they're also only down 1 game, so they can fight back pretty quickly. And because everything can change in a moment's notice in this game, all they have to do is keep playing and keep doing what they're doing. We're almost halfway through this game number 2. You see, again, Knox is on the attack, but met by 3 defenders. And imagine that there was somebody there to maybe chip that one through a little bit wider on the aggression. I mean, that would have been an open goal opportunity as 2 defenders commit on that. And maybe that's something that they learned. Maybe Dizzy's taking notes and is going to help out his team and say, hey, look, we can actually get them open in the net here, as that's going to be an errant bounce off of the players. You see Just One Drew come up and really contest this on Dizzy. And it hits Dizzy, but he gets the rebound off of Dizzy's car and hits it into the lower left. And that is a really smart attack from Just One Drew to give them a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering what Dizzy's thought process there was, because he seemed to have stopped before the ball and didn't even try to attack the ball. He went as if he was trying to stop the shot. I wonder if he thought that one was going to try and give him a shot fake possibly there, but Dizzy unfortunately cannot get the stop, and that gives the Griffins a 2-goal lead here. 2 minutes left, and the ball already back in the attacking front. Just One Drew trying to punch one through on the right-hand side, and Knox get the stop. King almost had the rebound goal, and this gives the Hornets some sort of counterplay here. Let's see if Emerson can drop back in time as Biscuit centers it and tries to swing it on out. Let's see if Knox can punch it back out through to Dizzy. You see good defensive fronts on both sides of the ball. Little bit of ball chasing here. One team has just got to set something up as Dizzy gets the demo, and that may be the push that they need to try and make something happen here.
Yeah, but the dangerous thing about pushing that hard is you kind of leave your goal open, and Arrow almost had an open net opportunity. Didn't have enough boost to recorrect himself in the air to get that shot on goal, but followed it all the way through wisely, and now he's met by a lot of aggression. You see how Biscuits is trying to pick up some of the boost along the opposition side. 1 minute remaining. This is going to be a shot that goes wide. You see Knox is going to try to play the car, not the ball, and it goes off the post as Biscuits wants that one back at just a millimeter to the left, and that would have dropped into the net. But instead, the post is your 4th defender on that situation. And now with 35 seconds remaining, the Hornets have to get something going. You've got to at least bury one here.
Great play.
On point, Knox carries through the bounce off the wall. I love this wall play right here. Carries it through, times it well, and then places that one on the money, dead center of the goal. And now with just 1 goal back, the Hornets in reach with 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, great discipline there from Nox, utilizing the back wall. We talked about that in a little bit in the pre-show into game number 1, how that is just a really great way to create some offense. And one of the notes that I had there, oh man, unfortunately for them, Just One Drew punches one through here on the rebound off the back wall. Nobody for the Hornets is able to get in position there. Everyone's kind of overextended, and it was bound to happen eventually. We've been talking about how push too many out of your box. If you don't even have anybody on the defensive side, those are going to be the ones that slip right through, and the Griffins back up to a 2-goal lead already. As I was mentioning a little bit before that, though, the Hornets seem to be taking a lot of, like, I don't want to, empty hits is kind of how I would describe it. They're chasing the ball in the sense of not setting up any passes. It's hitting just to hit the ball, and there's not really much of a purpose on some of these fronts. Granted, a lot of their time has been spent trying to clear the ball, but you can still get a tactical clear and set up your next set of positioning on the counterattack, or else, like we saw a lot of the times here, the Griffins are just going to get right back on the attack and then end up punching the ball through the net.
Yeah, when you're looking at the way that they played, I mean, a big shout out to Just One Drew. 6 shots on goal kind of led the team through. He was playing everywhere he needed to be. And really his movement back and forth on both sides of the ball kind of opened up some of those opportunities for the Griffins. Now going into game 3, the Griffins have a 2-game lead in this best of 7 series. So I really think they keep playing the way that they play, right? Keep doing what you're doing. You're putting points on the board. Your defense is playing really well and your rotations are clean. But on the other side of things, Skids, the Hornets have to find a way to do something to stop this attack.
Yeah, one thing that the Griffins are doing super well is keeping a man back at the midfield line, whether that be on defense or on offense, so that if there is an errant ball that just flies out unexpectedly, they already have control back. They don't have to push super aggressively on either side. But if you're the Hornets, if you're a Hornets fan out there, don't be disheartened. You guys are killing it right now. Just 1 or 2 balls need to go your way, and you guys are back in the series. So the Griffins up 2-0 going into game number 3.
Yeah, 20 seconds down already. You see Nox really trying to apply some offensive pressure, but instead Just One Drew is going to come in there. I like that little body chip there to get it cleared out, and just kind of, you don't always need the demo, right? Sometimes you just need to put the car on the defensive's car to get them off of their track, right? Get them off of their line of sight to the ball, and see if you can't disrupt their movement of what they see. Or where they're going or how they're communicating. And this shot is going to go up off the top bar, and it goes bar down, but does not trickle in. I mean, the Griffins escaped near disappointment on that goal as 2 defenders went up for it. Both missed. A powerful shot. And now you see the Hornets really continuing to push this envelope on the offensive side, but Emerson has some things to say about it. And oh no, he had an open goal with full boost, but it accidentally bounces off his teammate and goes wide. So an unfortunate occasion, but at the same time, I think they're going to get that one back at some point. And Emerson knows that wasn't on purpose at all. So he's going to kind of bounce back and try to play a little bit more defense and look for another opportunity coming up. As there it is right there. He uses all his boost to kind of clear that one out, but he does get that midfield boost. And Skids, here's a shot on goal, but Emerson is able to chip it up to himself, and he gets it past the defenders off the post. Nobody follows it up, and no,
it's an own goal.
Oh no, Dizzy.
Yo, that's the wrong way, brother.
That's unfortunate bounce. You see Dizzy kind of just recorrects right here. Emerson doesn't hit it. He was trying to flip to get into the goal, but instead of hitting it, Emerson just backs up, and Dizzy gets the own goal. And now the Griffins have a 1-goal lead with 3:05 remaining.
That's just super unfortunate there. It's a little bit of poor positioning right there for Dizzy. You hate to see that, but now you got to hit that mental reset, and you're down by a goal, but that's totally fine. You can get this comeback. Your shots have been super close as Dizzy comes in for the redemption, but no, King with a great save there, flying from off screen. Dizzy almost had a nice one there, but all of the Hornets goals have been super close, to the point of where if the goal box was expanded about 6 inches on either side, the Hornets would probably have about 3 to 4 goals per game right here. So the shots just aren't falling exactly like they want them to, but they are so close. And this is where they try and capitalize, as you see Dizzy flying in the second time. He got it. great discipline to come on in, and you got Knox playing this off the rebound. Emerson tried to stop it, but Knox off the top bar is able to rebound it out, and Dizzy punching it through. So Dizzy with 2 goals on the game, but only 1 falling their way for his team, as the Hornets and the Griffins are tied at 1 apiece here. And never mind, not anymore. The Griffins scored goal number 2.
That was a really quick goal. You see how quickly they kind of just pushed forward. He gets a little bit of that boost. Dizzy was going to go pick up some of that midfield boost as well, or at least some of the boost that is on the pitch throughout the field. But unfortunately, there was just no way you could get back to that. Utilizing that boost correctly, I mean, that's a nice shot on goal. Dizzy did get some redemption on the self goal, as he did score their lone goal so far. We're at 2:10 remaining, 3 defenders back for the Griffins, and a good job kind of rotating through. You see just when Drew pick up that midfield boost and kind of just get back into the box. He's rocking that dominance and is able to kind of control a lot more with that hitbox. And I say it makes you big, right? You talk about get big in so many sports when playing defense. That's kind of what the dominance is, in my opinion. In Rocket League, you kind of have that ability to get big and use your power to either push somebody out of the way, create that demo, or make that stop. And sometimes you have that power shot as well. I've seen quite a few go through that just the defense can't get to, as there is a big demo along the boards, and you see Knox with a full court almost goal. He's coming out of his box to hit this one, gets a nice demo along the way, and now we're all tied up. This is quite a different story from game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, well, that's just because things are starting to finally fall the way for the Hornets. These are shots that they've been there. They've been taking these shots this whole series. They've been working their way out. And Dizzy, great way to just fly over there out in the air and get yourself some good positioning for that ball. But we were talking about how it's bound to fall their way eventually. Just cleaning up 1 or 2 things gets them back into the series, and now tied at 2 apiece. They're in really good positioning, and you got to think that this is almost a shutout here. Besides like 1 own goal and then a kickoff goal where you just got a little bit overextended, the Hornets are playing phenomenal defense here, so the scoreline isn't exactly what you would think. If you keep this up here, you've got about 50 seconds to try and get something going, but then again, the Griffins don't want to drop one here. They would love a 3-0 series lead.
40 seconds remaining. Just one Drew coming down. He's got 50 boost. I like that conservation of the boost. He gets back up on the wall. He's going to play this off the wall, get it centered up. Nobody is following it through. Instead, it's going to go the opposite direction. And now Emerson's going to have to pick it up, but his teammate goes aerial for it. You see him throw it all the way into the corner and follow it through. Knocks Biscuits into the goal, but not the ball. And instead it goes out, and now Emerson gets another opportunity to knock this in as Biscuits is trying to get it centered up and cleared out. A huge save from Knox coming up. That was the corner of the goal. I think that would have dropped. You see Dizzy now with a long shot, but there's so much defense taking place right now, and I think we might see our first extra time as we've hit zeros across the board, but Knox is still going for it along with Biscuits. Just goes wide. Ball still live. Will it touch down? And there it does. And we have extra time in game 3. And again, this could be a completely different story if Dizzy hadn't had that unfortunate self goal bounce off of him. This could be, game 4, going into game 4, just down 2-1 in the series. Instead, currently, we're sitting at a 2-0 and an extra time situation in game 3 of this best of 7 series. So it's kind of one of those things where I feel like it's a lot closer than you would think, even though the scoreline might say otherwise.
30 seconds into overtime here. We got Knox trying to get a demo for a little bit of an advantage here. The ball has been pretty well on the Hornets attacking side this entire time. I made a note at the beginning of this game that they were trying to play a couple of angles that may not have been there, like they're trying to psych out or they're getting a little bit faked out by the Griffins, but they've done a really good job of correcting it as the ball almost goes in there from King's shot, but just off the crossbar, and King getting the demo there on Biscuits, but the shot not going through for the Griffins. So now Hornets on the counterattack. Ball is in the center. Dizzy, just a little bit of a misplay off into the left, but that's fine. Knox, great positioning to at least stop too big of a hit. Now we're up in the attacking side. 1 20 through overtime. The chip coming in. Nox cannot punch it through, and King on a great save there for the second follow through. They're getting a lot better opportunities here on the second and third attempts are the Hornets, and the Griffins haven't really been getting too many shots on goal comparatively.
Yeah, they haven't had as many shots on goal in this extra time, but again, all they need is one. It's golden goal, so the next goal will take game 3 as they continue to go back and forth and back and forth. We're already at a minute 50 into extra time, so we're trickling across half another game, that these players have played. And when you're thinking about, this type of gameplay where you're having to consistently reset and communicate what is happening, there's a big demo along the board. It's Dizzy knocks that full cross court. You see them just continue to work it through. But when you're thinking about how much is going on in this moment, as that's going to be a dangerous center, but it's cleared out for the Hornets. You see Emerson continue to apply pressure. Can they get the reset there? No. Arrow is going to have to kind of get back and pick up some more boost because he ran out. Just One Drew running out of boost as well. Dizzy now with a long clear. This is going up. Emerson hits it off the ceiling. That's going to be just wide in the corner. Can anybody follow it up? No. Arrow is there to clear it out, and it's counted as an epic save. You just see the players continue to battle it out in this physical final of this best of 7 series. This is only game 3. This feels like game 5, game 6, game 7 in the way that it's just not going to be given
Get
up.
Out of there. Oh man, this is the second time now, one on each side. They brought it out to the middle, and the ball is just sitting there on the tee, but everyone is just bumping into each other. No one has a chance to reset. No one has a chance to get into position here, as neither team is really trying for these corner shots, more so the centerings. As we get one dropping down, will Just One be able to pop one out off the right side? Dizzy Conning on the redirect. There is a demo there. Knox tried to clear out the goal. Can he punch it in? He does. Biscuits punches it in after a demo and a couple shots. You see Knox there coming in and clearing out the goal, and now it's a 1v1. Biscuits jumps right over Emerson, and Knox was there to punch it through if he did not get it in. And the Hornets able to take their first game, now just down 2-1 in the series after quite an impressive showing on both sides of the ball.
And you know what? That is exactly what I'm talking about. It just felt like a different game from game 1 and game 2. It felt like the Hornets were really struggling to kind of work some of these shots out in game 1 and 2. And then game 3, aside from the self goal, this could be a completely different story considering the way they played the shots on goal. They played together. They played passes. They continued to move, and I think their response is strong. And now going into game 4, I definitely think the Hornets are in a good position with good momentum moving forward. Can they get that first goal, and can they keep that momentum? And if you're the Griffins, how do you stop that and then stifle that momentum and create some of your own offense to kind of clear things out and refresh yourself? Because you did take game 1 and 2. You still have a 1-game lead in this best of 7. This is it right here. If you're able to take this game, then you have 1 game away to be crowned the champions, as Just One Drew. And Just One Drew just says, you know what? Here we go. I'm not even going to waste any time. Emerson challenges the chip, and then followed up by Just One Drew. And that's already a 1-goal lead, 6 seconds into game 4.
Man, I didn't even get the chance to analyze that overtime goal before they went and scored another one there. I guess we'll just have to wait for the next overtime, and then we'll get that one. But Just One Drew able to capitalize on that kickoff goal. That's kind of what we've seen the Griffins be able to get some good luck on. That's the second kickoff goal that we've seen, and you think that they would have learned to stay back and hold it, but one of them must have just been going for boost and left that goal just a little bit too open. And now a great attempt at the save there. It actually did credit Knox with an epic save, but it just went up to the underside of the crossbar. Let's check this out here as Emerson punches it through. And no one else hit it. Knox just tries to get an angle, but doesn't get the perfect one. And a quick 2-0 convincing lead here, 30 seconds in for the Griffins. You think they're a little bit bitter after dropping that game number 3?
I mean, they definitely have turned it on, and they've stifled the momentum of the Hornets, and that's something that they needed to do. And now if you're the Hornets, how do you claw your way back into that momentum. And I think it starts with just playing the way that you had. I like that disruption. Drew just comes up and under Knox and says, look, I know you want to get this shot on goal. I know you're going for the rebound. So instead of me going for the ball, I'm just going to disrupt you and kind of get you off of your course. Very smart play by Drew. And now he's on the attack along with his teammates. As that ball is missed, Emerson comes up to try to pinch that one together. Knox is going to get full boost and play it off the wall. He's going to bounce it up a couple times, hit a car or two, but Emerson very wisely just kind of chills on the side. And I like that wall movement until he got hit all the way back up against the wall. But this ball is a dangerous one as Knox just tries to knock it out of the park, if you may say so. As this ball is a floater, is it going to fall in? Oh my goodness, Knox gets away with one. You see this come up and just bounce. Watch this right here. He hits it off Emerson, or just under Emerson, with the correct bounce and rotation. Very smart. I mean, that was a extremely well defended play, and he just sneaks it by. So only down by one now with 3:20 remaining in this game number 4 Skids. I mean, they're not out of it yet.
I'm very curious on what the play was there. I think both Emerson tried it to counter the play. I don't know if he thought he was going to hit it or not. Knox just kind of went with the let and just the under tire chip. Both players just kind of decided to play a predictable angle, and then it ended up falling in the way of the Hornets. So back on the board, just like you said, we got 3 minutes left in this game, and Knox already on the centering. Oh man, but Biscuits just not in the proper positioning there, just a little bit too far behind. And Biscuits isn't really a name that we've brought up a whole lot this series so far, but he's been playing great on a defensive specialist side, and then did come up clutch with that overtime goal when he needed it. But when you got Knox over here just out here fiending for the ball and sending these aerials, Biscuits is playing a great role there. So let's not forget about the good teamwork that we're seeing on both sides here.
Yeah, I mean, they are communicating well. They're moving well throughout each other's, communication or how they're playing, whether it's off ball or on ball. And I think that is making a big difference. But now with 2:10 going on, I mean, you don't have a lot of time necessarily to just do whatever, and you just keep opening up these shots. You've got to kind of capitalize on one. And I'm wondering which team is going to kind of make that final push and try to just bury one. Just keep at it until it goes into the back of the net. That's what I want to see, because both teams, they seem to get the first shot, maybe even the second shot, and then after that, it's kind of like they just revert back to the defense and let the other team clear it out without any aggression or any other opposition.
A minute and a half left here. The Hornets have to try and capitalize soon. They got to get on the board here to tie it up. We've already seen one overtime period, and I'm just going to speak for myself here. I'd love to see another one as well. Emerson trying to get the stop here, but punches it up right for Dizzy, who's going to try and play it off the backboard, but just one Drew there on the stop. And I believe that was Knox that was trying to keep it on the attacking side, but actually brought it the other way around. And now Biscuits in the centering, waiting for the ball from where Dizzy is going. You see Griffins are playing a little bit more back than normal. They already have the lead, and they don't want to try and push anything here as just one Drew tries to get it. It was going wide left anyway, but Knox on the stop regardless. And this could be a good push here for the Hornets. Emerson chips it last minute. I thought he was going to miss out on that one, but he got the chip up as Knox plays it off the backboard. Can he slide it between? No, he's got 2 defenders there, and then Biscuits tries to punch it through, but Emerson's still in the right positioning to get a double save there, and then Dizzy getting an epic save on the other side of the ball.
You see Emerson picked up that full boost as well and immediately went for the demo in the goal. He did get the demo, but that ball got cleared out all the way to the other side. Now Arrow coming through as this shot on goal. It goes just wide, and there's a demo. The final 10 seconds are ticking off the clock. Can the Hornets get this into the air to tie this up and go into extra time? You see Arrow just trying to hit it off the ceiling, see if it'll bounce down quickly. That's going to touch down, but instead there's a shot on goal. And the Griffins are going to take that win as it just hits the top bar and then hits the ground. So a close game again in game 4, but the Griffins come out on top. And now moving into game 5, they're on match point. They're just 5 minutes away from being crowned the champions. And if you're on the other side of things, the Hornets, you got to find out what you did in game 3, and you need to do that again, and it needs to start now.
Yeah, so the Hornets, for you guys, what I would say is you got to bring in the cleanup crew. You have a couple of mistakes on the kickoffs that are costing you, that you had 2 or 3 kickoff goals. You had the own goal. That was an accident. That's totally fine. But I really do like how the positioning and the precision of the aerials has cleaned up a lot. So they're making progress on that front. But when you have a team that's as good here as the Griffins, you're going to need a little bit more than just good. Now with a 3-1 series lead, we didn't get a kickoff goal there, but the Griffins are already on the attacking front and ready to ice this one away.
You see them just kind of set things up. There's a big demo. Knox taking out Emerson in the goal. Can Dizzy get that centered up? And it looks like it's going to go along the boards. Knox comes back up. He does pick up that full boost, and I think that's key to basically stifle the defense as well as the pushing on the offense there. Knox picks it up again, but Arrow's there, but not a lot of boost. Instead, Knox picks up the opposing boost there, and you see Knox just try to clear it out. I like Emerson. He's wisely playing back a little bit, even deep in his own zone, to make sure that nothing comes just easy for the Hornets. They know that this is game point, right? This is it. This is match point if they're able to take this game away. So they don't want to play too aggressive. But at the same time, I think that if it really comes down to it, the Griffins should use this game as the full-on aggressing, mode. Just go on attack. They can give up, a game and still be on match point for 2 more games. I mean, really, now is when you have nothing to lose. If you're the Hornets, you got to do pretty much the same thing, considering if you lose and now being down a goal as Arrow knocks it into the back of the net, you see him come through. I like how patient he is. And then he just gets past the defender, beats out Dizzy, and that's a beautiful shot. Really, really good shot. And now with a 1-goal lead, 3:34 remaining in this game 5. I mean, the Griffins, really, all they need to do now is eat up time. If they wanted to, they don't really have to do much else than play defense.
Yeah, great shot there from Arrow. Talking about that a little bit, he was able to bounce it over, and Biscuit, who's been the primary defender, him and Emerson seem to be playing a similar role on either side of not overextending past that halfway mark, keeping things on the other side and playing the mid to defender role. So Biscuit has been making most of those stops today. Unfortunately, one just slipped past him there as a clear almost went in Biscuit's way coming down, but now Dizzy with a somewhat open neck playing off the roof, and just one Drew is out of position. That was a beautiful little play here from Dizzy. Watch as he flies up and then doesn't bounce it off the roof, but instead, as he's coming up, he turns the angle of his vehicle to get the ball coming back down. Because of the position he was at, he had the awareness to not try and bounce it upwards. It would have gone way too far off the backboard, and then he would have had to try a follow through, which then would have allowed the Griffins time to get back into position. So now Dizzy and Knox, these guys have been doing really well on offense here for the Hornets. Can they punch it through? But no, King, another goal under his belt. That's 2 for him. Had a great first game and then a little bit quiet in the middle of the series, but now 2 on the board, just the rebound goal that went their way.
I mean, that was I'm still on the amazing shot from Dizzy coming up all the way, getting that full boost and then following it and timing it. But a great response from Arrow, and you see the Hornets are already down by 2 as Arrow completes the hat trick off the kickoff, and you see him just kind of sneak that through as he takes the pass from his teammate. I mean, that was a millisecond for the defense to be there. Even if it was just a tiny bit slower, they would have cleared it out. But instead, goes into the back of the net, a 2-goal lead with a half a game to go. It's 2:30 on the clock here at game number 5 of this best of 7. I mean, the Griffins, they just have to keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to walk away with this championship. If you're the Hornets, you got to make a move, and you got to make it now.
Yeah, I talked about going into this one, how the Hornets could not let those kind of goals go through. That's 2 now of the 3 that the Griffins have been able to just sneak past, either on a rebound or just on an errant ball that they were out of position on. And so when a team is this good here, they actually do respond. So scratch what I was saying there. The Hornets in the good position here as Emerson tries to stop it, but the ball doesn't go the exact way he was wanting to. He can't jump there because as the ball is on the top of his hood, jumping would have just bounced it back into an own goal anyway. So that's a really, really tricky spot for Emerson to try and play that. And unfortunately for him, the Hornets were in prime position to go and get that punch follow through. So now only down by 1 goal, Hornets can keep to their game plan and just stop the amount of shots going through for the Griffins. The Griffins don't have too many shots compared to the last couple of games. It's just their percentage and their efficiency has gone a lot higher.
Yeah, that's a floating shot right there. Knox is just going to have to clear it out as best he can, but instead Arrow is right along that box. I mean, when you're having to face not just 1 but 2 or even 3 players that are attacking your box, it's unfortunate because you don't have the ability to get some of that extra boost and clear it out as that shot goes just wide. We're in a minute 10 remaining, and the Hornets have to get 1 to tie it up and force extra time. If they get 2, they're going to walk away and force a game 6. But when I'm looking at this defense right now, the Griffins are doing everything right. They're attacking hard, and then they're getting back on defense. They're playing it well. They're playing it clean, and their rotations are on point. So they're picking up full boost consistently. And on the other side of things, I just see the Hornets getting what they can because they're on their heels. They have to be in the way that the Griffins are attacking.
40 seconds left. The Hornets are trying to punch it through right now. You got Knox swinging in off the side. Can that one go through? Dizzy making it an even ball game here at 3 apiece. The Hornets are not out of it yet. That is a beautiful crossover from Knox. And the way he was playing it off the wall and a disciplined chase, that's where the Griffins extended a little bit too far. You never see 2 of them go and chase that ball. So I don't know if they adjusted a little bit on the defensive side, but that's kind of an error that we're not used to seeing them make. And now 24 seconds on the clock, the Griffins are going to have to punch one through to try and clinch the series right here before sending it into overtime.
Yeah, we're looking at extra time in 15 seconds if they're able to stand strong and stand up. I think at this point, you really, if you're the Hornets, you want this to go into extra time because you know that the momentum's a little bit on your side now. They have strung together some good attacks. The ball is going to drop down. That's going to be overtime. And here we go. Game 5 of the LHSAA finals. This is the state championship. The Griffins are trying to wrap it up right here and now, while the Hornets, the GLHS Hornets, are trying to force a game 6 as that went just wide. I mean, that could have been dangerous. And here the Hornets on the attack. Can anybody follow it up and get a shot on goal? And it's Biscuits who follows it through, and I absolutely love it. There's the first shot. The second shot goes up. Biscuits goes up and over Arrow, and it actually hits Arrow. Arrow almost got that stop, but instead it just has enough to go in. So now game 5 going to the Hornets, and we're going into game 6. And you know what? GLHS, you're still in this. So let's see what you're capable of going into this next game.
Yeah, and even though they're down in the series, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think the Hornets are the better looking team right now, through and through. The Griffins' goals have just been a little bit more sniping, a little bit more second chance, which is great, and I love that. But the Hornets have been playing top to bottom, I think, a little bit cleaner, and so it's starting to catch up with the Griffins. They had a 2-1 and 3-1 victories in the first 2 matches, but now the Hornets being able to get games 3 and 5. Let's see if they can string something together because they're not out of it yet. I can very much see this coming the next 2 games the Hornets' way.
Yeah, and honestly, that kind of makes me excited because all through that first half of that game, I was really nervous. It felt like the Hornets were on their heels, just picking up boosts when they could and just trying to play as much defense as they could to stop the thwarting attack of the Griffins. But then late in the game, they started kind of creating those open opportunities. They were able to get some of that boost, and then they capitalized on that. And now going into game 6, here you go. The Griffins still on match point. They walk away with this one. They walk away with the state championship. If the Hornets are able to tie it up in the series and win this one, they'll be going to game 7, and that will be the winner take all. And of course, Rocket League loves the winner take all game 7. So personally, I think that it would be cool if we got it. But on the other side of things, I think the Griffins are like, let's shut this down now.
Yeah, Griffins came out swinging. I'm sure they were fully expecting to win that game in number 5. And they're already trying to bring it here. Just getting a couple shots in already. And then Dizzy, who has been an animal on both sides of the ball, coming up with a couple of big saves. And there is yet another one. We saw some beautiful aerial control and discipline out of him. And Nox, who chipped one out of the corner last game. Let's see if he can do it again. Oh, this is dangerous. Perfect centering position, and Dizzy cannot capitalize there. If you're the Griffins, you have got to be breathing a sigh of relief. And yet another one. You guys just keep centering it back and back. And the Griffins have got to get this to the edge, because the middle is a dangerous place to try and play defense. There is any angle that the Hornets can come from. So big sighs of relief there for the Griffins, but not for long, because the ball just keeps coming right back into this half.
Yeah, you see Emerson just trying to play a little bit physical, just bump the car out of the way. And now again, another big save from Emerson. Emerson came out of nowhere. I thought that was going into the back of the net, and Emerson with an spectacular epic save to save the day with 3:20 remaining in this game. And here we go. Nox finally finds the back of the net. You see these shots going up for the Hornets, and just like you said, it just feels like the Hornets have the momentum, and that they're really the team that's starting to feel it. And you and I both know Rocket League, once you start, I mean, it's so hard to stop a moving train of a team that is working together, communicating together. Dizzy with the center, that's going to go wide, and instead you see it kind of bounce around that midfield. I like Arrow controlling it and then playing it off the wall here with the full boost. Is he going to get the shot off? No. Instead, that's met by 2 defenders, and neither of them necessarily bit. They just timed it out well, and that's a very good defensive play from the Hornets.
The Griffins here on their heels yet again. 2:50 to go in game number 6. One thing I did notice was they just, again, we talked about it in game number 4, I think it was, where one of their goals, they brought 2 guys to ball chase out when they really didn't need to. And then that allowed Nox to be in the perfect position for the follow through. Dizzy coming in here, almost got the chip. But if you're the Griffins, you can't overextend out to the corner. You've got to leave 1, if not 2, out to the side. But that's just all the more credit to Nox and Dizzy and Biscuit, who are requiring the Griffins to try and honor them. They have the power on the outside. They know that they can make something happen. So that's just credit to them, because the Griffins are changing up their game plan on defense to try and stop it, but it just hasn't been working as effectively.
Yeah, you see Emerson double commit for the Hornets. That's a very dangerous double commit too, as they leave just 1 in the goal coming through. If you miss that, then you're on a 3v1 essentially. Here's a shot that's going to go just wide. Dizzy trying to clear it out in the corner along with Nox. That's going to go up and over. That's dangerous, but Nox, I love that, plays it off the wall, follows it through, plays it off the wall, and now almost centers it for the other team himself. But it was all so that he could kind of get it cleared out. You see a couple bunch ball play in the box, cars bumping around. This is physical. This is crazy. We got 125 remaining in game number 6, and the Hornets looking to force a game 7.
The GLHS Hornets are looking to be in domination right now, and really good positioning. And Nox, a great stop there. We saw it, just one Drew on the shot there. He had another one earlier that looked really good, but unfortunately didn't get the touch that that Drew wanted, and could not knock it through there. And Biscuit's now on the defensive side. We've seen some great goaltending, though. Dizzy has been all over the back of the net, and now Nox is trying to put it in the back of theirs. Oh, cannot get the follow through there. Nox a little bit too high, and Dizzy, I think he must have ran out of boost because he wasn't able to go and get that follow through. Now you leave an open net here, and Biscuit cannot get the stop as Emerson is there to punch it in. Dizzy tries to come out and play the ball, which I'm fine with. I like that move. He just unfortunately missed. And then Biscuit was a little bit too far out to try and make that stop. So 42 seconds, the Griffins want to try and clinch it here. They need to go up by 1 goal, and the Hornets, it's time now. Do or die. 37 seconds left. Your tournament lives in the LHSAA finals are on the line.
You see the shots going back and forth. Dizzy with a big save. We're under 30 seconds to go. You see Biscuits try to clear it out, and now here comes Emerson and the Griffins. Can they apply the pressure, bump somebody off the defensive line, and give them an opportunity? And Dizzy says, no, I'm just going to chip this up and clear it out. Let's see if maybe we can get you in extra time the way that we did in game 3 and game 5. I mean, if you're the Hornets, extra time is yours. That's been your bread and butter. You've won both games in extra time, as this ball is almost going to touch down. Will it float in? Oh my goodness! Arctic Biscuit! No need for overtime. A 0-0 goal. I thought that was going to touch down, but instead it goes into the back of the net. And here we go. A game 7 on the line for the LHSAA state championship. And you got to love it.
You got to applaud Biscuit there, who hasn't been the most offensive presence, the offensive firepower, but coming up with 2 major goals in overtime, and then one that was basically overtime. It was 0-0s. He doesn't score all the goals, but he scores them when they count. Biscuit, you absolute animal, chipping it in. And then too bad for the Griffins, who were not in position to stop it there. Man, a 3-3 series, game number 7. We've already had 2 overtimes, almost a third. We've been getting more Rocket League than we bargained for.
Oh, 100%. And just based off game 1 and 2, especially game 4 kind of seemed a little bit lackluster from the Hornets. But game 5, they answered back with great defense, and they were able to carry out the victory. And then game 6, I mean, that was just an impressive feat. And here we go, 5 minutes away to find out who your LHSAA champion is going to be. Dizzy already on the attack for the Hornets. 10 seconds down. Knox with a shot on goal. Dizzy with a shot on goal. And Dizzy's gonna put it in first. Oh my goodness, just a couple seconds off the clock. Look at this. Knox tries to redirect it. Emerson bites. Arrow comes out to play the ball, but instead Dizzy's able to chip it up and over. And now the Hornets with a 1-goal lead in game 7 of the LHSAA final.
Well, that didn't take long. 12 seconds in, and the Hornets are already on top, trying to answer back. And man, if you're the Griffins, you guys started off so hot. You had the first 2 wins, and then even game number 4 up 3-1 in the series. But since then, it just seems like the Hornets have been the team that has wanted it a little bit more. They've been driving, they've been making adjustments, and they have been putting the pressure on. It started as the Griffins on the offensive firepower, but now they can't seem to get the ball on the attacking side. As Knox comes in, King and Emerson, that could have been dangerous. They were going for a little bit of a pinch there, and a nice chip shot, and they must have heard me because they answered right away. And who else but King Arrow to punch it through? We've seen him. He has been the leading scorer of the Griffins this series, and I love this animation, so I am all for him being the one that gets all the goals.
That's one of my favorite things, is just seeing the personalities of the players come through in their decisions of their car colors or their car emblems that they choose to rock, or whether or not they rock a top hat or a Santa hat like we saw earlier, or a crab. And then also the goal celebrations are just so exciting, because sometimes they just get you pumped, right? You see that and you're just like, yes, that's my celebration. Let's go. 3:45 remaining. We're all tied up though. And when you're looking at what this was like in the first 2 games, it really did feel like the Griffins were in charge and they were going to run away with it. But the Hornets have answered back every single time. And now Knox clears it to the other side. Is he going to follow it up? Emerson's going to get that cleared past midfield. That's going to be a dangerous clear into the corner. Can it be followed up? Arrow is there. He's got a lot of boost, but that's going to get chipped out by Dizzy wisely. And you see a kind of a reset as Drew misses that, but is followed up by Emerson. That could have been dangerous, a 2v1. And now Arrow in the corner. The defense, again, is just playing so strong and very patient. And that's something that they need to be able to do. The Hornets need to be able to do that to create those open opportunities when they do take that long clear and get a shot. But Emerson not wanting to give it to him. I mean, that didn't even get to have a midfield at all.
We are seeing a little bit more here for the Griffins. They're starting to get back towards the 50% on the attacking side, which, I mean, good for them at DTHS, but they got to start to punch these ones through. Haven't heard much from Dizzy yet this game, the man who had one of the most clean aerial goals we've seen so far in these state finals. Almost punches it through and up in the top corner, cannot finish it. All three of the players are spinning the opposite way, but they turn around just in time. The Hornets punching it through on the third chance there. They're out collecting boosts. Where are all the Griffins? Nobody's even in the shot, and that gives the Hornets plenty of time to punch it in. Now halfway through this game number 7, if you are a DTHS Griffins fan, let me hear it in the chat because they need some encouragement. Let's get their offensive firepower back up and going.
Yeah, they need to kind of spark something right now, because it does just feel like the Hornets have really picked it up ever since game 5. They got that overtime victory, and they've played so well, communicating back and forth. Great shots on goal from Dizzy and Knox, and really carried through. And I think that that's something that's extremely important to be able to set things up as they do. Biscuits has been involved left and right on defense and offense. That's going to go up off the top bar. A secondary shot comes through from Emerson, and now we are tied up. And can this get any closer? A blow for blow championship. You think of the heavyweights that are just coming back through, and what does Rocky say? It's not how hard you get hit, but how much you keep going when you get knocked down. It's something like that, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I wasn't going to correct you. I was going to let you have that
just
one.
Give it to me, all right?
We're just so focused on how intense this game is, we can't think about it, man. I mean, look, King's already got another shot, and we're 5 seconds into that play, man. There is no time to breathe right now. Both teams realize how important this game is, the last one that they're going to play in this season, and you got to come out here on top. You cannot have any errors here. You have to execute flawlessly as Just One Drew punches it out there, not allowing any offensive push, but a good clear to not put it in the middle here. Now Biscuits and Knox run into each other, leaving Dizzy all for himself, and he's able to stop it once and twice. Now let's see GLHS. Let's see if the Hornets can get a counter play here. You saw Just One Drew punching it out, but Biscuit in the right place at the right time. And now who else but King and Emerson? Can they punch it in? No. 45 seconds left. I need a second to breathe here, guys.
I mean, you can't. You don't have any time. It just continually goes back and forth. The powerhouse of the plays that they're making. They're clearing it out, but then they're following up their clear so quickly. So it might just not be a clear. It's going to be a clear and a shot on goal, and that's Emerson. What in the world? That was from almost midfield. Was able to redirect that from his own teammate. He sees that. Oh my goodness. He picks up the full boost and then utilizes it to power it into the back of the net. And now the Griffins back up top. 25 seconds remaining. The Hornets have to respond to be able to push this into extra time. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is Rocket League.
DTHS coming up big in the very last moment, but we still got 15 seconds left. Knox on the demolition, giving Dizzy an opportunity to come through, but Emerson on the stop. Can Dizzy punch it in? Where's the second player? You got 5 seconds left. You have to make it right now. 2 seconds. This is your last chance. We've seen an aerial goal at zeros from Biscuit, but no, not that time. The DTHS Griffins are your LHSAA state champions in convincing fashion. That was one of the greatest series I have seen, and a final goal there with 30 seconds left. Big players make big plays and big moments, and who else but Emerson to punch that one through at the very end. The Hornets looked so clean there. They almost had it in their hands, but the Griffins, that 1 seed coming in super convincing and clinching at the very last second.
Yeah, I'm extremely impressed with the Griffins in the way that they kind of clawed their way back into that. But not only that, they took a lot of pressure going through game 6 and into game 7. You see the final bracket is finally up. The Griffins are your LHSAA state champions, but kudos to the Hornets and hats off to them for such a performance, coming back, being down 3-1 at one point, and then making their name known as they force a game 7. Just an incredible performance by both of these teams and a blast to call.
Oh, yeah. If both of these teams have to be super proud coaches. You guys have phenomenal players that have such adamant fight, and then the Hornets out here not giving up, down 3-1 in the series, and then the Griffins able to recollect themselves and get the last second goals that they needed to in the clutch time. Great job on both sides of the players. You guys should be super proud of yourselves, whether you came up victorious or not. But Docs, you said it. What a fun series to cast. It's been an honor sharing the booth with you, man. And wow, I'm out of breath.
It's been a phenomenal time. I mean, we've been covering state champions all week long. We're going to continue over here at PlayVS. So from PlayVS, I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Skids. We're going to say so long, and we will see you all next time.
When the whole place scream, gotta get out the yeah, I hear him chat to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Dressed too sharp with the prize, white girls, better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Nice keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. They'll tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chatting the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep